Good evening, folks. Corey Harrington here, founder of Creative Real Estate Made Easy. This is part 2 of our installment, talking about installment sales, no pun intended, and talking about seller financing. Now, in the previous video, I did talk about the installment sale. The sale when you're selling, when you're purchasing a property, and you're making installment payments until the property is paid off. Now, you can set any arrangement you want. You can have interest only, principal only. You can basically, at that point in time, you're doing a seller finance. But in an installment, you're paying payments on a monthly basis, on a repeating basis. It may not be monthly. It may be set up in a different way, but typically it's monthly on a repeating basis until the entire principal is paid off. Now, with the seller finance deal, what I'm going to walk you through is a property that we secured, that we actually own at this point in time, myself and a partner. It's 140 Seford in San Antonio, Texas. It's in the Terrell Hills neighborhood. And again, full transparency until a lawyer tells me to stop doing it. I'm going to give you every case, every study I give you is going to be backed by an actual property. Now, with this property, we bought it from an individual, actually two people, that were both on deed to the property. Now, they had it listed for about 18 months. They had it listed in the multiple listing service MLS for 18 months. We didn't pick it up through MLS. Like many of you know, I own a real estate franchise, Home Investors of America. So we used our marketing, Home Investors of America marketing, as billboards and radio and newsprint and everything else. And someone called in our office, and I went on the appointment at that point in time. I have buyers in my office, but sometimes I'll go out on appointments. This one's a little bit higher of a price point than we'd usually like to get. We get things between 70 and 90% of the median house price. That's pretty much what we buy. So we're buying stuff south of 150,000 roughly. Median house price is a little bit lower than that here. But south of about 150,000. We pick up things that we purchase between 30,000 and about 80,000 our cost. And we're buying stuff at 30 to 45, 50 cents on the dollar before you include closing costs and whatever other fees. At any rate, this particular property is something that didn't fit my model. So I went ahead and visited it myself. I knew it was a good community. The house was in excellent shape. It's a beautiful house. In a later installment, actually in our comprehensive real estate investing program that is available on my website, we'll go through audio case studies, and this will be one of the audio case studies, and you'll be able to see the video of the property as well. So there'll be photos and a filming of the actual property, and I'll talk about the deal there as well. So basically, similar information I'm giving you tonight, but at any rate, you'll be able to see the photos and everything else. Property's in great shape. Backyard, nice big backyard, has a hot tub, covered patio with a hot tub back there. Has a sunroom back there. Has a nice entertainment room in the office room, and a couple other rooms in the house that are pretty interesting. All hardwood floors, nice place. The property is worth about $230 to $240 retail, based on comps in the area of similar properties. This is basically one of the cheaper homes, or less expensive homes, in a very expensive neighborhood. Great position to be in. Now, here's the thing. With this property, the guy had the property listed for 18 months. His business partner let him run with it. Didn't try to get to him to bring the price down. But it wasn't working out. The price was set a little too high. I think he had it for $260, somewhere around there. This is according to what he said initially, and then they dropped it down a little bit, and they ended up fixing the foundation. There were 38 piers. There were 38 points at which the foundation needed to be worked on, where they put piers into the ground and keep packing those piers down until they hit bedrock or hit enough pressure to where it's stable and it can lift and support the weight of the house, ideally for the lifetime of the home. At any rate, that was a very expensive process. Cost them about $24,000 to $25,000. Now, this is in San Antonio. That's on a, let's just call the house a $200,000 house, just for simple math. That's basically 12.5%, a little bit more, of the actual value of the house. So that's a big chunk of the house. When you do fix up like that, that's That's quite a bit of money to take out of the house. So they went ahead and fixed that up, and then they reduced the price a little bit as well. Still didn't move. Made sense for us to come in. I went through my purchasing process, showed them my numbers, showed them what I can do, and we couldn't agree on the price I wanted to buy it for outright using cash. So the other alternative is that I'd accept something close to what his price would be. We had a competitor give him an offer, his lowest offer. We said, okay, we'll go ahead and match the lowest offer and do this as a seller finance. Now, with seller finance makes it a lot more attractive to me because I don't have to go out there and try to get a loan. I don't have to go through the process. I purchased hundreds of properties in my career, many properties over the last year that banks look at me and they say, hey, maybe we need to pump the brakes. There's too many properties. I try to transfer as many of my properties into other legal entities that's approved as quickly as possible. However, it's just difficult to get loans. Even for someone like me, I have the cash. It's just very difficult. So with an installment or with a seller finance sale, it makes great sense for me to go ahead and do that. So what I did is I went ahead and created an agreement with him. Again, your creativity is your only limitation. I said I'll do this for 5 years, interest and principal on a regular loan on a 30-year amortization schedule, which means that I'd be paying off the property in full in 30 years. How if I were to keep the property 30 years in this existing financing structure? Now, what I'm not doing is doing a 30-year loan. It'll balloon in 5 years, 60 months. So at 6% interest on this loan for the purchase price of $190,000, my payments will be somewhere around $1,350. I have the documents not in front of me, but we have our payment schedule. It's about $1,350. A couple of things I did here. Now, I got this property I actually made $8,500 profit straight out the gate. Buying this property, I got paid. Now, I'm going to show you how I got paid on this on the next audio. We're running a little long on these audios, so we're actually going to break this thing up into 3. So I do apologize. And this one at the very beginning and the previous one I did say it's going to be a 2-part, but it's actually going to be a 3-part. Okay, so follow me to the next one, and we'll talk about all the nuts and bolts of the deal and how I made this happen. Once again, Corey Harrington, founder of Creative Real Estate Made Easy. Follow me on my Twitter if you want to see when the next video is going to be released. I'll usually give out a notification a couple hours before we release it so you can get to it, listen to the information, and try to apply it in your life. Thanks again for visiting my site, and I'll see you very soon.